Hello, welcome back. We're here, and I I have to point this out right away. So we're sitting here getting ready to record. We're setting everything up, and Jess is like, "I need water." So I'm gonna fill up my cup. Goes to put the lid on it, and then I just hear, "Oh no." And I turn and there's just water spilling all over the floor.
Yeah, so I overfilled it, and Josh is just staring at me like, what are you doing? Go over the sink. And I panicked. I don't know. I panicked. I froze, I guess. And I just continued closing the lid, even though it was overfilling, and I just let it spill everywhere all over the floor.
There's just no fight or flight at all. It's just continues to spill.
And I was like, oh no. And I just kept going. I don't know, man. And then I went to clean it afterwards, and instead of telling Josh to move his chair, I'm trying to jump over him to get to the trash can.
Just shoving me into the table.
And he's just like,
I'm like, what are
you're
you?
being you're being ridiculous. I was like, what did I do? Like, I don't feel like I froze either.
You did, but it was hilarious because like you just looked at me and you were like so innocently, you're like, oh no.
And then I continued closing it.
I'm like, put it in the sink.
Put
What
it
are
in
you
the
doing?
sink. I panicked. I panicked. Yep.
Oh.
And I just continued.
As if our condo hasn't had enough water damage to it.
I know. I
Ugh.
know. I'm adding more to it. I apologize.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Because the cats had knocked over like their water bowl one day. I was playing Sims,
yeah.
and they knocked over the water bowl, and it just went everywhere. And then all of a sudden, I look up, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I just start freaking out. And then Josh is helping me clean it, and I just made the spill worse by going to the closet, and I was going to grab towels. And in the process of trying to grab towels, I knock over the mop and bucket because Josh had mopped earlier that day, and I just spill even more water on top of water, and then I'm just freaking out. And then Josh is just like, just go over there, go over there. I will take care of it, because he saw I was just freaking out.
In your defense, by knocking over the mop bucket, it made the disaster smell like Fabuloso. So that's okay. It's forgivable.
Not for our floors. I was just like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, our floors, they're gonna start lifting. Like those videos of people like throwing water all over their floors, and then their floors would lift, and then they regret it.
Oh God.
Our floors have lifted a little bit in some areas, but that's because of years of being here.
Yeah. That's all right. They'll survive.
We didn't even introduce ourselves properly.
No, because they know us by now, and I had to make fun of you. Like,
Josh was like, right before we hit the record button, he's like, I'm making fun of you. I'm telling them what you did.
Because they have to know what I deal with.
I'm Jess.
I'm Josh.
And that's Josh.
Hi.
And yeah, this is our podcast.
We're here again.
We're here again. This is going to be our 10th episode. Woo!
Hey.
We made it.
I'm very proud. Because on the other podcast, it did take us a while to hit 10 because of scheduling issues. So we've been pretty good with staying, on schedule. But
I'm very anal, though, when it comes to like schedules.
you are, and it's a good thing because I am not.
You are to an extent. It just, sometimes it does grind my gears when you're like, can we postpone?
It's been twice.
Yeah, the one time you tried to postpone, I put the movie on anyways.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, but I'm tired. I thought we could do this tomorrow. And then I was like, we'll just begin it.
Look.
And then it was like for fresh. It was for fresh. I put it on.
Fresh, yeah.
But then you ended up being interested.
I got hooked.
Yeah. And then you watched it. But this past week, you postponed, so we're just pushing it out a little day.
Mm.
But I was totally fine because I was like into a book.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, great, I can finish this book now.
it's true.
So I was like, okay, bet.
I spun the wheel. It was my turn. And to my joy, it landed on gore, which is one of my favorites. And I thought about it, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna pick Terrifier because he doesn't shut the fuck up about it." But no, I didn't. Um, I
He
th-
almost did,
I
though.
was very close. Terrifier 2. That's the best.
You gave me a choice, too. You were like, do you want to do this or do you want to do Terrifier 2?
Yeah.
And I said, it's your week, so you pick.
And I also thought about it, and I looked at the run times for each movie, and Terrifier 2 is like almost 3 hours long, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, but we know that movie inside out for the most part.
It's true. It's my comfort movie.
Yeah.
So I thought back to, my childhood of horrible movies, and then my aunt and uncle, when I started getting into horror movies, they were like, "Oh, if you're gonna watch gore, you have to watch Dead Alive." And I had no idea what this movie was, no clue. They were just like, "It's on many different lists as being one of the goriest movies of all time." So I'm like, "Awesome, okay." So they actually got it for me for my birthday, and my mom was not happy about it, but it is what it is. And then I showed you. I don't know if you had seen it before.
I think you have put it on before when we were dating.
Didn't finish it though, I don't think.
I don't think we finished it because there were some parts I don't remember. And then I was like watching it for like the first time
Mm,
for this time, like for the second part, I
yeah.
guess, half of the movie. I enjoyed it. It was hilarious.
Yes,
What was funny was it, I was like, you kind of picked another monster movie.
that's true.
And this one's a zombie comedy horror. So,
Yeah. And this was directed by Peter Jackson, who, Lord of the Rings.
yeah. By the way,
Mm,
if you've watched this movie before, you might not know it as Dead Alive because this movie actually has two names. So, Dead Alive, as Josh is saying right now, and then it's also, if you Google search it, actually comes up as Braindead
mhm.
because I actually think it's named Braindead, but in the US and in Canada, it's known as Dead Alive.
Yeah. Both titles work.
Same thing,
Yeah,
basically.
it works either way.
Yeah. So this movie came out in 1992.
Another year of Josh.
Another year of Josh.
Yay.
It only came out, 1992, but it was a New Zealand movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually didn't come released in the US until the following year of 1993.
Yes.
Has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
As it should. It's a very good movie.
Even though you know how I feel about Rotten Tomatoes, I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I always like to let people know because some people are like dead set on Rotten Tomatoes and they always
Yeah.
like to look that up.
Which I think you and I both agree people should watch and form their own opinions. Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes, like, to an extent.
Absolutely. I feel like even when um like our friends or family members, they'll watch a movie and they'll be like, hey, this movie's really bad,
Mhm,
or so don't watch it. And probably, chances are I'm probably going to still watch it
mhm.
just to form my own opinion.
Yeah. So, yeah, my sister's kind of that way where her opinion changes like every movie. Like she saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Quentin Tarantino movie, and she hated it. She's like, this movie is terrible. And then she watched it again like a week later and she's like, this is the best movie ever made. So, hot and cool. But this movie is genuinely just a great fun movie for what it is, which is a really gory New Zealand zombie movie.
I thought it wasn't gory at first. When he played the film, I was like, this isn't gore. I think he missed the assignment. And then later on, you're like, oh, yeah, there's the gore.
Yeah, I told you, like, just give it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you will see the gore. So, this movie takes place in 1957 uh, in New Zealand, but it starts off in southwest Indonesia. Uh, they cut to a place called Skull Island, and we see two men running, carrying like a bamboo cage, and they're just yelling back and forth, like, oh, we got to get this animal on the plane. And you're like, well, what could it be? And then we see that they're being chased by like a tribe of, I guess, Indonesians.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they get surrounded, and the the two white guys being chased. The one guy's clearly New Zealand. The other guy,
The one wasn't white.
no, the other guy was white.
He was white also?
Yeah,
He didn't look white to me.
yeah. They changed the character after that. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh.
Yeah, it made no sense. But the one guy was a white guy doing a very awful Jamaican accent for no reason.
Yes. Yes. I was like, what the heck? I was like, why?
He said "yaman" like a lot.
Yeah.
So they get surrounded by the the tribe, and they're yelling at them like, you have to set the animal free, like you have to let it go. And the guy from New Zealand, the biggest douche so far in the movie, he just grabs a piece of paper. He's like, I have a permit. I'm allowed to be here. And they just rip it up because why would that matter to
Yeah, I
them?
would rip it up too.
Yeah.
Because they're explaining in their native tongue to the other,
The fake Jamaican.
the fake Jamaican. Like, you need to let it go.
Like
You need to bring it back.
this animal's a fucking problem.
You cannot, you cannot take it.
And then the guy from New Zealand takes out a machine gun and just fires in the air to scare them off. And then he picks up the cage and starts running. And then the other fake Jamaican guy starts following him. So they're being chased. They run out to like this clearing, and there's two other guys waiting with a Jeep. And at first he gets in, and they just take off without the other guy.
Yeah, I was like, did he really just leave the other guy?
He basically
like,
said, fuck you, dude.
yeah, and I thought the tribe was going to kill him, but
I thought so too.
they didn't.
But the guy catches up, and he gets in, and they hit a bump, and the cage like gets knocked over onto the New Zealand guy, and he gets bit by the animal. So the fake Jamaican sees that he was bit, yells, stop the Jeep, and then kicks him in the face out of the Jeep because he knows what it's about. And the three guys jump out, and they grab a big machete, and they see that his hand was bit, so they yell like Sangaya, and then they chop it off.
Yeah, they chop off his hand, and then they see another bite mark
On his shoulder.
on his shoulder, cut his shoulder off. Then they see another bite mark on his head, and
well,
we can guess what happens there.
yeah. And then this is where it cuts to them delivering the animal at the airstrip. And it's a completely different actor because now it's three black guys. And it made no sense, but we didn't question it because who cares? But it was funny to me.
I didn't even peep that.
Yeah.
Until you brought that up to me, but now I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And the pilot pays him what looks like $20.
It does. Like, he takes out this huge sack of money and gives him like one $20 bill.
Yeah, they're all singles, and he hands him a 20, and he's like, yeah, we could eat for a day. But
well, in today's time, yeah.
No.
Maybe back then.
In 1950, so yeah, it's fair.
$20 was a lot of money.
I guess. But yeah, then you see the title card, Evil Dead, and then it cuts to from terrifying music to like really calm and like happy music as the plane flies back to New Zealand. And you liked the music. You were like, "Oh, this is fun music." You mentioned that during the movie.
I love it. Well, I love what type of music they put over the the girl, the love interest.
Mhm.
They put like very bubbly music over her, and I just love when they put music, like instrumental music that would describe would point you in the direction of like their personality.
Oh, like each person has their own type of music.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I just love the music that they put behind her
Yeah.
because she was like very bubbly but very confident too. And if I were to think of a person that has those qualities, I would definitely think that sound.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I was like, I really, really enjoyed the instrumental that they put behind the characters
Hmm.
and how it would change depending on their emotion.
It's true because pretty much, yeah, each character had their own specific kind of background music.
Hmm.
So the woman she's speaking of is a woman named Paquita, who is a she's Spanish, right? Spanish woman living in New Zealand with her family.
Hmm.
Um, who isn't? I don't think her family is Spanish. I couldn't really place an ethnicity
They
on.
probably made them Mexican because, to be fair, most of those movies, anytime they depict a Hispanic woman, they tend to just put them as Mexican.
Yeah, they didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But she's a Spanish girl. She works at like the local shop slash like grocery store, and she's infatuated with the delivery guy, who is this. He's just a douche. I don't know, just average white guy. And she's like, she's wearing a new dress. She's trying to get his attention, which doesn't really work. He just, you know, delivers and leaves.
No, she's actually Spanish. Sorry, I had to look it up.
Yeah, she's Spanish.
No, but Spain, from
Spain.
Spain, Spanish.
Yeah. See, I know the accent because I'm not a racist. Um,
I never said that. I just said that usually those movies tend to
I know.
depict.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so she's infatuated with the delivery guy and her creepy mother or grandmother or anybody,
Grandmother.
her grandmother. Uh, she comes out and she's like a little like hooded lady, and she's like, "Oh, we need to read the tarot cards." And,
You're very interested in him, huh? Like, let's read the tarot cards to see if you guys are if that's your soulmate, pretty
mhm.
much.
Well, she immediately is like, "No." She's like, "That is not your match."
That doesn't look like him. Yeah, because it's not him.
Yeah, it's not him. Doesn't look like, well, kind of looked like the other guy. But she tells her that her real true love will reveal himself when you see the sign of the moon and the star.
The moon and the star, it's going to happen very quickly.
Mm,
You guys are going to be entangled very quickly
mm,
and fall in love very.
yeah,
And then there was another card that the grandmother pulled that wasn't great,
mm,
but she didn't want to tell her granddaughter at the time.
yeah,
So when the granddaughter asked, "Hey, what's that card?" The grandmother was like, "Oh, nothing, don't worry about it,"
yeah,
type of thing. And then as it's going on, the father is like, "Paquita, a customer."
yeah. His lazy ass could not be bothered to get up and
Yeah,
do it himself. Um, so this is where we meet Lionel, our main character, I would say. Um,
our protagonists.
protagonist. He comes in to place his grocery order for
Hmm.
him and his mom, and he is just the most awkward human being you could possibly imagine. He's tripping over everything, knocking things over.
At first, she's like really annoyed and was like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
type
She's
of thing.
he's looking around, she slams her hand on the counter to like get his attention,
Like,
like, all
"What do you want?
right.
Hurry up."
And he's like, "Oh, I'm placing my order, and then I'll take some of this now for like I guess it was like beef jerky, it looked like."
Yeah.
But then knocks everything on the counter over, and she grabs his hands as he's trying to like fix it, and she moves it away, and she sees they form the shape of the moon and the star,
Mm-hmm.
which immediately catches her attention and gets her all like excited, like, oh, this is the man of my dreams.
Yeah.
Which he annoyed you 0.2 seconds ago, and now you're in love with him. I don't know. It's cheesy, but
She's an
it's fun.
astrology girly.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, if they tell you, like, oh, yeah, the man of your dreams is, you know, name is going to be this or whatever.
Hmm.
Some girls are like, they go seeking to find that specific person
Hmm.
that fits those little criterias.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oof. So she starts making googly eyes at him and smiling, and he's like, all right, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah, he gets freaked out, runs out of the store.
And he goes home, and this is where we meet Vera,
Vera.
his mother, who is just a peach. I mean that in the most condescending way possible. She's a horrible, just Karen of a person.
Yeah, and at first you're like, oh, okay, that's what she's going to have to deal with. If you didn't know it was a gory movie, if someone just played it for you, you would think it's a romance and
Hmm.
she has to overcome the mother-in-law,
Yeah, one of those movies. But
the
no,
monster-in-law.
the monster-in-law, yeah. But Lionel goes home, and his mother is like, "Oh, I was just made treasurer of the Wellington Ladies Welfare League, and the president's coming for lunch on Friday, and the house is spotless. It's a beautiful house." But she's like, "Lionel, you need to clean the house." He's like, "I just cleaned it." She's like, "No, you have to actually clean it." And you could see that she's like a nagging mother, and he's just like, "All right, yes, mother." Very Norman Bates type of deal. Um, so he's outside mowing the lawn, and that's when Paquita shows up with the groceries.
Yeah, with the groceries and her huge dog.
Her adorable dog. And he's like, "Oh, your mother usually does deliveries." She's like, "No, it's me today." And then they start talking, and she's flirting, and he's just awkwardly like, "Oh yeah."
He's not really picking it up,
He's an idiot.
but she's like throwing herself at him. And then um she's like, you like my dog? Because she has a little bit of a broken she has broken English accent.
She uses it to her advantage though,
Yeah.
because he's like, "Yeah, any bigger and it would belong in a zoo." And she's like, "What zoo?" And he's like, "Oh, where animals live." She's like, "Oh, I want go zoo." And he's like,
Oh, you take me to the zoo?
"Yeah."
Date?
He's like, "Do you mean you want to go to the zoo?" And she's like, "Yes, please, tomorrow." And it's like, "Oh, okay, you do understand." So she immediately just sets up the date, and he's like, oh, okay."
He goes with it though.
He does. You know,
Hey, good for her
she's
though.
very good.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she uses her accent to her.
The best relationships are with an extrovert and an introvert
This is true.
though.
You love people, and I hate them.
I do not love people, but I am a people person.
You are, and I'm
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Josh gets annoying because he's like, anywhere we go, you make friends with people.
It's true. On vacation, you make friends with people, like people in the elevator, people on the Skyliner at Disney, like you were chatting away, and I'm just sitting there all weird and awkward. It's fine. But so yeah, they go on their little date to the zoo, and the happy music's playing that we mentioned earlier. And I don't know if it was like an alligator in a pool or what it was, but there was water, and Lionel has a random flashback to his childhood. And he doesn't go too much into it, but he says something along the lines of like, "Oh, I was at the beach and I was stuck in the water, and my father dove in to save me, and he didn't make it out and got washed away by a wave." And then Paquita's like, "Oh, okay." And they just like, "All right, let's go look at the monkeys."
No, she grabs him and she's like, rubs him and then
Yeah,
they hold hands and they
you know,
walk off a little bit and then they go over to the monkeys.
and they, the monkeys start throwing like
Apples.
apples at them, and they're like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking throw the apple back at you." Like, all right, don't throw food at the animal, but
I would.
all right,
If the motherfucker throws an apple,
not supposed to throw
at
fruit at the
me,
monkey.
I'm gonna throw it back at him. I
Ah,
don't care. Like,
and
you're my
arrested.
enemy now.
Oh, kicked out of the zoo for life. It's fine.
I
Uh,
don't like the zoo too much.
I haven't been in a very long time.
I feel really bad for the animals.
Yeah.
Even if they're like, "Oh, yeah, like, we feed them, we do this, we do that for them." Hate SeaWorld too because I feel so bad for the animals.
SeaWorld is a very shitty place. We've both been there, and it sucks. It's a bad place for the animal.
I got really sick at SeaWorld.
Yeah. My father lost me at SeaWorld. Um, but yeah, oddly enough, next to the monkey cage is where they're keeping the pesky animal from the beginning of the movie because it's now at the zoo.
Well, it's considered a monkey. It's like a rat
It's a
monkey
rat monkey.
thing. So I guess that's why they were like, "Oh, okay, well, this is some type of monkey, so let's put it next to the monkeys."
And this is why I love this movie because when they showed the rat monkey, it's the only bit of CGI they really used through the whole movie. The rest was practical effects,
Mhm.
which I love.
Yeah, I love that.
It was amazing. But this little rat monkey, they were like, it's on screen for like 30 seconds tops, so like let's just whatever. So it grabs the arm of one of the monkeys and rips it off. And if you were thinking before, like, oh, there's no gore in this movie, you see everything up close. And then it just starts gnawing on the arm.
Like as if it's a rib,
Yeah.
you know?
And Paquita gets sick and she's like, oh no. And then we meet the animal tamer who is just a moron. I don't know. He leaves the cage wide open and he's like, oh, poor little bugger. And he grabs the dead monkey and hangs it in front of Paquita. And there's like blood spilling on her shoes. And he's like, what are you going to do? Basically,
Yeah, and he starts yelling at the rat monkey like, "Get over there. Get over it."
you vicious little shit.
Yeah, just yelling at it and then just like smacking the gate
Yeah.
for it to back off. And then Paquita, I always thought her name was Makita, but it was Paquita.
Mm,
Um, she was like, "I don't feel well." And then they go to sit down.
mm.
And originally, when I saw that scene, I was like, "Oh no, Paquita, she's gonna get, you know, she's gonna turn or something's gonna happen to her." But no, she just sits down and they're kind of like um cuddling, and then the mom comes up and she's stalking them because mother just wants her son for herself, I guess, too.
Yeah, it's one of those old stories where no woman is good enough for my boy type deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she's hiding in the bushes creepily, and she slips and leans against the cage. And this is where the rat monkey comes and bites the shit out of her arm, like
Yeah.
bad. And you hear her blood curdling scream, which gets Lionel's attention. He's like, Mother? Like he knows it right away. And a whole crowd forms as she hits the rat monkey with her bag.
Oh, she kills it.
Yeah. She knocks it down and then with her heel just pushes its brains out of its head, like slowly. And everyone's like, ugh. And then she's like, Lionel, take me home. And she pushes Paquita away because she tries to help her. And she's like, no, I want Lionel.
Yeah. After you crash the date,
Yeah. Just ruins his day.
ruins his day. And then he goes off with his mom, too.
Yeah, he takes her home. And then you see him wrapping up. Well, the nurse is there wrapping up her arm. And she's like, oh, just keep an eye on her. If it gets worse, let me know. And she leaves. And then she's like, oh, Lionel, you'll take care of me. And he's like, all right, just get some sleep. So she goes to sleep. And that's when the illness starts to kick in.
At nighttime, but Paquita actually shows up at his house.
and just screams loudly at the window.
Starts screaming at the window, Lionel! Lionel!
I brought your jacket back.
I brought your jacket back!
He's like, shut up.
Like, oh my God, shut up. So she goes up the stair, well,
She,
to his a window.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's trying. She really is for this relationship. And he's just like awkward and weird and doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So they're chatting and he's like, oh, this can't work. And she's about to leave. And then he kisses her and then they go at it. It's the nicest way I could put it. And while that's happening down the hall, his mother is deteriorating in bed and just like moaning. He's like decomposing as we speak. So Paquita leaves. This is the next morning now.
hmm
And the president of the WLWL shows up with her fat husband. And
Was that her husband?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just a horrible person, but I'll get into that. So Lionel wakes up Vera and she's like, oh, I have to get ready. And she's just like mumbling because she can't speak now.
Yeah. And then Lionel's like, Mother, you're not well. Like, why can't we reschedule? And she's like, no, get my dress.
It's the WLWL. Like, shut up. And she's like sitting at the vanity putting her makeup on, and her face peels, like the side of her face peels off a huge chunk. And he's like, oh, mother. And she's like, no, just get something to fix it. So he comes back with a bottle of glue and glues her face back on.
Yeah. And he's like, hold still or I'm going to lay it like,
It's going to lay crooked.
even though he lays it crooked.
It's very
Still.
crooked.
Oh my God. It was so funny.
I love how nonchalant he was when gluing his mother's face back together.
I know.
But then we cut to them having lunch, and the woman's husband is just like, oh, we need another war. Like, he's just a piece of shit. And all while this is happening, Vera is just deteriorating at the table. And Lionel's like, all right, well, this was fun. Like, let's wrap this up, basically. And the guy's like, what? No pudding? You gotta have pudding. I don't know why you would just assume that, but... And Lionel comes back with, he's like, oh, we just have custard. So they're eating the custard, and
This is where I actually wanted to throw up a little bit because
you
I'm
got,
like, ugh.
yeah, you got very grossed out. So her wound on her arm is open, and a bit of pus and blood shoots out into the woman's husband's custard bowl, and he doesn't notice it and just takes a big old bite.
Yeah, and he's talking about how he likes it, creamy,
Delicious.
it's delicious, and oh my God. Like, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then,
I was laughing because she's like, oh,
ugh. Yep. And then her ear flies in there, and oh, the mom actually eats her own ear.
her ear falls into the bowl of custard and she scoops it up and eats it. Now, this isn't like a secret thing happening. The president woman is watching all of this happen, and
She's mortified.
and she runs out of the room to throw up.
Uh-huh. And then she drags her husband out.
Yeah, and he's like, well, her stomach isn't like it used to be. And then they just leave. And I'm like,
Which
all
is
right.
funny. Don't you think he would turn too? Because he ate?
See, I thought about that today.
Uh-huh.
So he has infected blood in him, but he was like fine.
But there's no second movie, right?
No.
So then, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that was weird.
Because I would think that you would have that in your system and be infected.
That's usually how it works.
Regardless.
But
But I guess you're only infected if you get a bite.
yeah, I suppose. But Paquita comes back with her dog, and she's talking to Lionel, and the dog runs upstairs where Vera is.
Well, before he puts his mom to bed and he's like, Mom, like, let me call the nurse. And she's like, no, no, I want you to take care of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay, okay, like get some rest then. And
He
then that's when Paquita shows up.
he rewraps her disgusting arm.
I know. There's no way. I would have been like, Ma, you need to go to the hospital.
What the fuck you want me to do with
First
this
of all, I
open
was saying in
wound?
the beginning, like, if I knew my mom got bit by something, like, I'm taking her to the hospital because they need to monitor you and you need to get a rabies shot.
Yeah.
You can't just have some traveling nurse come and wrap it up.
The most useless nurse in the world.
Yeah.
So Paquita comes back with her dog, and the dog runs upstairs where Vera is, and we hear a struggle. And Lionel and Paquita run upstairs to her room, and Vera's sitting on the floor with a tail sticking out of her mouth. And oh, Lionel pulls the tail out of her mouth, and Paquita's like, "Your mother ate my dog!" And then you see, like, the dog in pieces on the bed. He's like, "Well, not all of it." And it's like, all right, the worst thing you could have said.
I know. She
So,
was less upset than I would have been. I would have, your mom's dead. Like, I would have been like, I'm killing your mom
kill
because,
that bitch.
yeah, because there's something wrong with your mom and she ate my dog.
Mm. This is when Lionel actually does call the nurse back, and, she's getting her ready to go to the hospital. He sends Paquita upstairs to, like, pack a hospital bag.
Paquita just took it upon herself to go. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
right, yeah.
she got too comfortable too quick and she overstepped. She was like, I'll pack her a bag.
Yeah, by this point, she's known him for, like, a day and a half.
Yeah. And then she just goes upstairs going through all her things and stuff. And then at one point she's like, what toothbrush is hers?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's after Vera dies officially in Lionel's arms on the floor. So the nurse, in the worst, most, like, who gives a shit way possible, she's like, "Yeah, your mother's dead, Lionel. Sorry." And he's like, "Oh." So he's crying. Vera gets up and bites the nurse. And this movie has the quickest, like, people turning into zombies effect. Like, the nurse was a zombie immediately.
Yeah.
And I forget what happened to her head, because she didn't get decapitated, but her head, like, fell back.
That was when he pushed them down the stairs.
Mm. Yeah, he pushed them down the stairs. Oh yeah, they were fighting him, and he, like, slashed her throat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
With the pot,
that's what it was.
the vase. I'm sorry, I said pot, but vase.
Yeah, he smashed the vase on Vera's head, and then he took the shard and sliced the
Mm-hmm.
nurse's throat. So her head didn't come off completely, but it was like a Pez dispenser, like, folded back. And then he pushes them down the stairs and, like, locks them in, and tells Paquita, like, "Oh, they went ahead in the nurse's car."
Yeah,
And
and then he blasts some music to cover her, and then he's like shoving her out.
yeah, he tells Paquita
And
that.
then Paquita was like, Lionel, is everything okay? Um, my grandmother said something bad was gonna happen to you.
Hmm.
And like something bad was happening. And he was like, no, no, everything's fine, everything's fine. And then pushes her out.
He's laughing like a crazy person.
Uh-huh.
Because he's going crazy, because, like, insane shit is happening to him, and he's just, like, cracking. So Lionel goes to the vet, who is one of the most random characters in the movie, because he's clearly a Nazi.
You know what he reminds me of? He looks like if they were going to do a live action of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
He looks exactly like Sally's dad.
Yeah, the professor
Yeah, the
or whatever.
professor or whatever. That's exactly what he
Holy
looks like.
yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly
But
what he looks like.
in a human version.
Yeah. But he's clearly like a Nazi. Like, clearly. Just the shit he says in his thick German accent, like he's yeah. So he sells Lionel animal tranquilizers because he's like, I don't have sedatives, I have tranquilizers. So Lionel buys a huge bottle of them. I don't know why he would sell that to him. But yeah, he buys them, he tranquilizes Vera and the nurse. He keeps shoving that needle directly into Vera's nose. I don't know why.
And I was like, why wouldn't he just like get her in the arm or leg? Like, why the nose?
It was just her, too. Everyone else was like,
Regular spots.
yeah. But then while they're knocked out, he goes to the shop to see Paquita and her grandmother. And sorry, my cat is being ridiculous. And that's when we find the other card that basically says he's surrounded by death and evil and all of that. And her grandmother gives him an amulet, like this big necklace, to wear. That's the moon and the star that's supposed to protect him. And he gets up to leave, and all while this is happening, Vera gets out, and she's running down the street and gets hit by the trolley and gets launched through the window of the shop. And Paquita's like, I thought she was at the hospital. And he's like, oh, they must have released her early, haha. And then while no one was looking, like shoves the needle in her nose to knock her out again. So they're like, she's dead. What a catastrophe. And 2 days later is her funeral. Because they make some comment that like, he's been by her body for like 2 days now. Because he keeps tranquilizing her, and people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So this is where we meet the best character in the whole movie, the priest. He is my favorite person in the world.
He's great.
Ugh, I love him. You're not going to know who this is, but there's a show called Father Ted. It's a very funny show. He reminds me of him. So yeah, they have the funeral. This is also where we meet Lionel's Uncle Les, who is the biggest piece of shit in the world.
Yeah, a slimy, grimy uncle.
Yeah. And he immediately starts to hit on Paquita at a funeral of all places, just to illustrate how much of a douche he is. And everyone's like, where's Lionel? Where is he? And the priest's like, I don't know, but we got to start without him. Then you cut to the embalming room. I don't know why they would wait till the day of to embalm Vera, but she's hooked up to the machine. And he goes to tranquilize her, but he doesn't get the chance to, and he has to hide because the Undertaker comes in, who is the director of the movie, playing the Undertaker. And he let the machine go for too long, so like the embalming fluid is like leaking out of her body from every orifice, and it's like a big green mess. And he's like eating a sandwich while trying to pop her eyeballs back in. And then they just load her up in the casket, and then Lionel is trying to open it to like tranquilize her again, but she wakes up and starts to wrestle with him, and then they fall through the glass in front of everybody. And he's able to stick her with the needle, but everyone's like, oh, he doesn't want to leave his mother's side. How sweet. And his uncle is just laughing in the church like a piece of shit.
Yeah, and they're all thinking he's just like, he's a hot mess.
Yeah, he's lost his fucking mind. But,
The mom burst through this door too. Like, that was creepy.
yeah.
Like, if I was at a funeral and that happened, I think I would be like, oh, sorry for your loss, and then dip.
I'm out. No, everybody just assumed he was hugging her and like fell through the glass. And that's why they were all like laughing at him. But after this is my favorite part of the whole movie. So he goes to dig up her body to tranquilize her again. I don't know why he thought he needed to after she's buried, but it's not really explained. So he's,
because you knew she wasn't like completely dead.
yeah.
But I mean,
What is he going to do? Keep digging her up, though?
that's what
Like,
I'm saying. I'm like, at that rate, like, you need to like put an end to her,
which he was not ready to do.
which she was not ready to do, which is kind of understandable because if it was any of our mothers, I probably would be poking her with a tranquilizer, a needle too, to have her be like a calm zombie.
A calm zombie, yeah.
A calm zombie.
Like Shaun of the Dead, where he's sitting there playing PlayStation with his friend. Um, but yeah, so Lionel gets jumped by like a group of like greasers, and they're beating the shit out of him, and the one guy goes to take a piss on his mother's grave. And that's when we see Vera's arm come up out of the ground and grab him by the balls, basically, and drag him down to bite him.
That I was happy about.
Yeah, those are
Like,
great.
she better jump out and grab his
Yeah.
goodies because that's messed up to pee on someone's grave.
Yeah, and she did not disappoint.
Nope.
So he gets bit. He then bites other people. All the greasers are zombies at this point. It happens very quickly.
So Lionel's trying to tranquilize them
Mm-hmm.
now.
And
Go for it because I know this is your favorite part. This is a great part.
it's the best. The priest comes out because he hears the commotion. He's like, "What's going on?" And then and he's standing above Lionel on like a tombstone, and he's like, "Get back, son. This calls for divine intervention." And he jumps down and starts beating the shit out of these greasers, and he's just out of nowhere just yells, "I kick ass for the Lord." And he,
Yeah.
he just starts kickboxing all of them. He rips off the one zombie's two arms and uses them as nunchucks. And then the one gets like, he kicks the torso out from the same one. So he's just like, I don't know.
He himself killed all except one.
All except the one. Because then he kicks the head off of the one with no legs,
Mm-hmm.
and the head lands on his shoulder, bites him, which is sad.
Yeah.
And then he falls back and gets like impaled on a statue.
I was so upset. I was like, no, I liked him.
He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love him so much. So Lionel, to cover everything up, takes the priest and the only greaser zombie left home. We thought this was weird immediately. Like, why would he do that?
This movie was just Lionel making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision.
Yeah. He fucked up the majority of this movie.
Yeah.
But we see him cooking eggs and dumping the tranquilizers in the eggs to feed the zombies. I don't know why they would eat it, but he thought...
They're just all calmly sitting at the dining room table eating.
Yeah, they're not tied up or anything. They're just chilling.
No. I guess because they already have some of the stuff in there.
Yeah, they're pretty calm.
Yeah.
And he's telling the one greaser, like, no, use the spoon. And he goes to put it in his mouth and shoves it all the way through his head. And then the nurse, like, it's oozing out of her neck wound, so he just pulls her head back and dumps it down her neck. And then she's making eyes at the priest, who's, like, grabbing her knee under the table, even though they're fucking zombies.
Yeah, and then the other, the greaser gets upset because he shoved the spoon too far back, that it went through his, neck. And then the mom just, like, eats the stuff on the spoon.
Oh, she grabs it off
And
the
then
spoon,
he
yeah.
gets upset, like a little child. So Lionel goes over to help him, and then turns back around, and the priest and the nurse are kissing. And then he goes over there and he starts yelling at them like, "Hey, no, like, knock it out.
Stop that.
Separate." And this is when his uncle walks in because, unfortunately, funerals bring out the worst in people. Some people they stick their nose where it doesn't belong. And then, his uncle is sniffing around, seeing what he can get.
Yeah. I won't go into details, but we've experienced similar
Can
situations.
I get a
Yeah,
house?
we've experienced this firsthand.
Yeah.
Um, but basically, his uncle's saying like, "Oh, she meant to put me in the will before she died. She wanted me to have the house and the money and all of that." And Lionel's like, "Really? She never mentioned that to me." And he's like, "Yeah, no, she wouldn't have."
It was supposed to be done recently. We were discussing it,
Mhm.
but then she died on short notice.
Yeah, and that's when we hear uh, the sounds of moaning coming from the dining room, and Lionel basically kicks his uncle out. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I gotta just go."
The uncle is about to go in there and he's like, "Oh, you found your dad's
His old stag movies.
yeah."
He's like, "I get it. Some people just want to grieve alone. I gotcha." And he leaves. And then Lionel goes back in the dining room to see the priest and the nurse going at it. And he goes to pull them off, and she eats his face. Like his mouth gets pulled off. So you just see like teeth now. Oh my God.
That
So,
I was like, "Oh my god, not the father. Not the father and the nurse."
it's so bad. But she gets pregnant immediately,
Mhm.
even though they're dead. She immediately gets pregnant. And I watched it again today, and I'm like, there had to be time in between that. But no, it's like the following scene, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant. He goes to get more tranquilizer because now he has like 5 people
Yeah.
that he has to tranquilize. Why he didn't just end the other people and just leave his mom? I don't know.
Uh,
Because Lionel is he makes bad decisions
yeah.
and he continuously makes bad decisions this whole movie.
Yeah. And as he's coming back with the tranquilizer, he sees Paquita walking with the delivery guy from the beginning.
Well, at first he sees Paquita at first in the store and he's hiding from her.
Oh, yeah.
And then he breaks up with Paquita. And then Paquita goes off crying, but then he turns back around 2 seconds to be like, "Wait, Paquita." And then the guy from the beginning
Mm,
that she was interested in, I guess rescues her, even though he goes and punches Lionel and
mm,
says, "Oh, get away from her, get your hands off her,"
yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. Very Back to the Future. Get your damn hands off her.
Yep.
So he goes back home defeated to find the nurse on the floor very pregnant, like extremely. Um, but she already have the baby at this point and it was hiding in the radio?
Not just yet.
Not just yet.
Not just yet. So his uncle walks in again and sees, oh, yeah, actually, yeah, the
No,
baby is born. You're
yeah,
right.
the baby's born, the ugliest little baby ever, and he finds it hiding in the radio, and then he flips it over and pulls it out by the feet, and it's holding a rat and just gnawing on it, like this rat that it found. And then Lionel, in his great list of decision making, decides, I'm going to take the baby to the park. It's a nice day. All babies love the park. He's got this zombie baby in a stroller that he fitted with barbed wire to keep it in.
At this point, I look at Josh and I'm like, "Wait, why did he bring the baby out?" And Josh is like, "I have no idea." Like, I would have seen that and I would have, I feel so bad, but I would have killed it.
Yeah,
I would have been like, "No, no, 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 this cannot happen."
yeah. This is the strongest zombie in the whole movie, basically, because that baby takes a beating.
Yeah.
Because,
I think the second most strongest.
yeah, it's fair.
Because, the last one left is the
Yeah,
strongest. Well, but we'll get there.
we'll get there. So this is the most cartoonish you will see Lionel in the whole movie because he is running around the park with a stroller that's flipping all over the place. The baby gets out after he trips and knocks the stroller over because he's trying to mimic what he sees a mom doing. And he's just like shaking the stroller back and forth, and the baby gets out, and he's chasing it down the hill and trying to stop it from like biting anybody. And he finally gets a hold of it and starts just beating the shit out of the baby. And everyone around him is just looking at him horrified, like, what the fuck?
Like, oh my God, he's fucking up a baby right now.
Yeah. And he walks past these two women. He's like, hyperactive. And he just walks away. And they're like, what the fuck? But that's when he's back home and his uncle is waiting for him. And he throws the baby down, the basement. He's like, so how long have you had these dead bodies in your basement, Lionel? And he's like, I can explain. He's like, no, you're going to have to explain to the cops. So, I don't like to turn in my own family, but I don't know. I feel like if you were to give me the house and all the money, I could look the other way, because blood's thicker than water. I could do you a solid, a piece of shit. He was looking for his opening from the beginning. So Lionel backed into the corner. He's like, all right, fine. You could have it all. And Les wastes no time to have a party. Like 100 people come running in with beer and food and just throwing a big party. And as this is going on, he's making Lionel like serve the food. And Paquita's walking by with the delivery guy, and he's
Talking about himself,
yeah.
doesn't let her smuggle out a word.
Mm-mm.
And she gets uninterested pretty quick, sees that there's a party going on in Lionel's house, and dips on the other guy.
Mm-mm.
And then the other guy's just talking to himself, and eventually, like, is like, Paquita? Paquita? And then looks over, and then he's just like, oh, well, and then walks off.
Just walks off. Paquita goes in the house, and Les grabs her immediately because he's a creep. And she knees him in the balls like really hard to the point where he's like crying and his wig falls off. And he's like, oh, you bitch. And she runs and hides in the basement. And that's where she discovers what's really going on. She sees all the bodies and she's like, what the fuck?
And then Lionel's like, let me explain. Tells her, they started with his mom, she got bit, and then I just didn't know what to do, and now I have all these people, and I just don't know what to do, and she's like, Lionel, you have to end them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to get rid of them. And then he's like, but I can, that's my mom. And she's like, that's not your mother anymore, she's gone.
And again, her being very comfortable, very quick. She's like, I'll do it. And he's like, no.
Yeah, basically, because they find some poison.
Yeah.
And he goes to inject everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has to inject his mom. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't. And then she's like, I'll do it. And then he's like, no, 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 no. Shoves the injection
Up her nose.
up her nose again.
Ugh.
Looks like they died, right? Buries them. And, and then they go back up the stairs. And the uncle is pissed. He throws Lionel down the stairs, locks him downstairs, and drags Paquita into, what is that, the laundry room, I guess? Or the kitchen?
Kitchen.
Kitchen. And he starts,
He's grabbing at her.
he's grabbing at her, and you can imagine what intentions a person like that would have.
Yeah. But Lionel being downstairs, he hears a rumbling coming from the ground. And while that's happening, he sees the backside of that poison bottle. And it says for animal use only, will not work on humans. Which I don't know why they would put something so specific on that bottle, but they did.
But my thing is, they're not even human anymore. Like,
I think just like size-wise.
I would think it would work on the baby at least.
Hmm.
But it didn't.
It didn't. Because the ground opens up and out come the zombies, very cartoonishly launching out of the ground and looking terrifying. Lionel runs up the stairs and is like banging on the door. And finally, someone opens it, and Lionel comes out. He's like, close the door, close the door. And the guy goes to close it, and the door comes off the hinges and like smashes him on the ground, and the zombies get out. At this point of our review, I can't really keep going shot for shot what happens because it is so chaotic that I feel like we now have to just say our favorite gore bits because there is a lot happening.
Yeah, I mean, it just jumps around to scene, but like, obviously, what you think happens pretty much is that the zombies start biting everyone,
Mm,
and then everybody starts biting each other in the party.
mm.
And I will say, the uncle, even though he's slimy and grimy, he did put up a really good fight.
He did
Like,
good.
he was kicking ass.
Yes. At one point, he had a whole pile of zombies that he had killed with like 2 big meat cleavers. He was just chopping very
Yeah, he
fast.
was just chopping really fast. He was outside in the shed,
Uh-huh.
and he was killing them right there.
He was pulling the teeth out of the priest. It's like, oh, looks like you have a cavity, mate. And he's ripping his teeth out.
That I was like, okay, I would have just killed the zombie. Why are we like focusing on the teeth? I was like, that is psycho behavior.
Yeah, yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's a piece of shit. He runs around the house to get in the house, right?
Hmm.
And Paquita originally is like, nah, I'm not letting him in.
No, fuck him.
And then, but there was another girl that was a part of the party that wasn't turned yet.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart.
So she was like, no, let him in, let him in. So Paquita was like, fine. So they let him in, and they're blocking everything. And he goes to kill the poor nice girl that got bit, and he was like, she's gonna turn.
Yeah.
And Paquita like saves her. Was like, no, you're not gonna. So then they start focusing on the other zombies that are coming at them.
While they're arguing in the kitchen, mind you, there was one zombie girl who had gotten thrown against the wall and her head was impaled on a light bulb. So her head is just glowing as she's hanging off of the wall.
That one was pretty sweet. She was still alive. She was just like,
She was like wiggling around with her head glowing.
well, dead alive, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it works.
Dead alive.
While this is happening, Lionel is upstairs being chased by the greaser zombie that was there the whole time. He locks himself in the bathroom. I love this zombie so much. The zombie kicks a hole through the bottom of the door and starts to crawl through it. Lionel stomps down on him so he gets like impaled on the jagged bits of the door, and the zombie pulls himself through and chops his lower half off and starts like just from the waist up starts attacking Lionel as all of his innards are just spilling onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So Lionel throws him. His innards have a mind of their own now. It's like an octopus on the floor going after him. Lionel runs out. His legs start chasing him. He then runs and climbs through a hatch into his attic.
He puts the top part of his body though in the toilet,
Hmm.
and he smacks them in there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which that was pretty funny
That was funny.
because he was like, get in there, like kind of thing. Then the innards, yeah, like you said, have a mind of its own, and all of the things start kind of crawling together. Lionel is able to pull himself up into the attic access.
Mm-hmm. And this is where he had the amulet, and it dropped on the floor and started spinning on its own
Mm-hmm.
and then pointed to a trunk in the attic
Mm-hmm.
that I guess he had never seen before. So he opens it up and starts going through it, and he finds a bunch of pictures of his father and some other woman. And as he keeps going through it, he then discovers the entire skeleton of a woman in this trunk. And he's like, what the fuck? So as this is happening, the innards of the greaser zombie are now climbing into the attic and going after him. And he fell through the ceiling, right? And he's like hanging
By a wire.
by a wire, and his body's dangling above the entryway of his house. Mind you, carnage is happening all around him. One guy tried to climb into like under a door, and the zombies like they stripped the skin and muscle from his torso, like his waist down. So you just see bones of his legs kicking, and it's amazing. A really great effect. But the zombies are slowly starting to surround Lionel, and then he sees Paquita and the other girl like fighting for their lives. And he starts like swinging to try to get to the side, right?
Yeah, he's so the innards of the greaser zombie start like crawling down the wire that he is hanging from,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like it's about to go into his pants,
No, yeah.
and you're like, ah, no, oh. Yeah. And Paquita actually runs past him. How did he get out or something? Can't remember how he got out.
He pulled himself up to the side of like like the banister,
Uh-huh.
and then he slipped and he swung out. And you see Paquita get bit, and you think, oh no, not Paquita, but then you realize it was just someone's dentures,
Uh-huh.
and they like fell out of the zombie's head, and she's like, ooh, and knocked it off her shoulder.
As that's going on, the uncle is still kicking ass in the kitchen,
Yeah.
but eventually sees the baby. And
Yes.
then that's when he's like, you little shit. So he starts running at the baby because he's like determined to kill this baby.
They tried to blend it in the blender twice and it didn't work. But the baby, I think, hits him in the balls because he gets a beating.
Yeah.
And he's like, you little shit, I'll kill you. And he starts chasing him down into the basement. Mind you, this whole time you're like, where's Vera? You've seen everybody else. Where the hell's Vera? But you see Les standing there. You see a big shadow come up out of the ground and a giant hand tap him on the shoulder. And he turns around and then just gets obliterated.
Yeah. And then he's like, Vera? And then, yep.
Yeah, the baby's laughing the whole time.
So as this goes on, Lionel's able to get himself free. But when he got himself free from the wire hanging down, he goes through the window of the front entrance, and then he comes back inside, and he comes back inside with a lawnmower and just starts cutting up all the zombies with the lawnmower. And then this is where you're like, oh, there's the gore.
Yeah.
Because it's just blood everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, party's over. He lights up the lawnmower and starts carrying around, just taking people out. And that scene goes on for a good, 5 minutes.
Yeah, like he just keeps going back and forth.
Ugh.
And the zombies are surrounding him. And I'm just like, how has not a single zombie bit him at this point?
They were very close.
Yeah.
Because in the greaser zombie, the top half of him jumps onto Lionel, but is being blocked by the lawnmower. Lionel can't reach the thing to start it, so he grabs a loose arm he finds and uses that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the zombie spin, and then he just gets sucked into the blade. And then the innards come back, and Lionel smiles and just mows them down. And
it almost got him now.
It almost got him.
Yeah.
And this is where Paquita's like, all right, let's go. And he's like, no, we can't leave yet. And she's like, well, why not? He's like, haven't seen mom yet.
And basically, at this rate, he tells Paquita, you should leave, you should go.
Hmm.
Um, then the whole ground collapses.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes the mom.
Out comes Vera.
And she looks insane.
She's a giant zombie monster, like 20 feet tall, that is completely naked.
Completely naked. Her her legs look like chicken legs.
Yeah.
And then she just has like huge breasts
Yeah. She looks insane.
just out.
And she's talking normal again.
Yep.
She got her voice back. So they run up the stairs to get away from her and they climb out onto the roof. And at this point, oh, that's right, a fire had started in the house because Paquita was fighting the baby because her friend that she was trying to protect died and the baby came out of her head and like ripped her head open and came out laughing. And then Paquita threw it at the zombie that was hanging on the wall with the light bulb and then turned on the gas and blew it up. So now there's a fire. Now cut back to this where Vera comes out. They are on the roof. The house is collapsing in on itself. Vera comes out onto the roof, and that's when Lionel confronts her. And he's like, my father didn't die saving me in the ocean. You killed him when you found him with that other woman, didn't you? And then we see the flashback of him as a little boy watching Vera drown him in the bathtub with this other woman. I don't know how she's that strong, but she managed to do it.
To drown both of them?
Yeah, it was kind of impressive.
She must have drowned one. I don't know why you would do something like that in front of your kid.
I don't know. But he blocked it out because he forgot all about it, apparently.
Yeah.
And she's like, no woman's good enough for you. Like, you need to be with me. And this is where Vera's giant stomach opens up and Lionel slides down the roof and like lands in her stomach and she swallows him up. And then Paquita's hanging off the side of the roof. And Vera's like knocking her hands away, trying to get her to fall. And then we see the amulet come through Vera's stomach, and it's Lionel chopping his way out. And you just see blood and guts everywhere. And he comes out, and Vera falls into the fire of the house. And Lionel, like, mind you, he just came out of a stomach. He should have been more bloody than he was, but he was like not that bad, I thought.
No, he was pretty bloody, but yeah.
He swings down, grabs Paquita, and then they
Seal the ending with a kiss. Fire department shows up because the house is burning down. I don't know why it took them this long to show up, but it's a movie.
Yeah.
And yeah. Then we have a happy ending. I mean, he tries to give back the pendant to Paquita, and she's like, no. And he just throws it on the line.
He tossed it.
And I was like, first of all, I don't think I would get rid of that pendant.
Should have kept that shit, bro.
Yeah, I think I would have been, and it's a huge one. It's like a really huge one.
It is massive.
I would have been still wearing it around my neck.
That sure would have been worth money.
Yeah. Or clipping it to like my jeans or something. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love this movie so much. It's so ridiculous and over the top, but it still works.
It does. It's really good. It's just really good.
Like, there's so many funny scenes, like where all the zombies are just staring at him as he's trying to run away, but there's so much blood on the floor that he's going nowhere as he's running. Like, it's hilarious. I love it.
And then he starts trying to run faster, and he's just like running in the same place faster.
Yeah.
And his facial expressions too are very cartoon like.
Yeah.
Like you said.
I don't know. Who's your favorite zombie out of this movie?
Out of this movie, who was my favorite zombie? Okay. trying to think who would be my favorite zombie. I think probably the baby.
I was thinking that too.
The baby, because the baby's pretty strong. The baby is arguably one of the strongest,
Mm.
but obviously the mom would be the strongest. But arguably, maybe even Vera, because that was pretty badass that she went and grabbed. I liked her up until the end. Whatever they made her at the end, I was like, ew.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was like, ew. But when her grave was being peed on and she just, shoots her hand out
Mm-hmm.
and grabs the guy by his balls,
Yeah,
that was very satisfying.
it was satisfying.
That was very satisfying. But definitely, probably the baby.
Yeah.
Baby's pretty badass. I liked the father up until he became a zombie, because when him and the nurse hooked up, it was very cringy.
It was very cringy.
And I was like, ew. And then the greaser was pretty stupid.
The greaser was stupid.
Even as a zombie who was still, I feel like, to me, at least, he was the most dumbest out of all of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the baby because, like, as we mentioned earlier, it's mainly practical effects. So, like, the baby's a doll, clearly. But then when the baby's running down the hallway, it's clearly somebody in a costume that they filmed a certain way to look like a baby running, but it's like an actual person. It's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I love this movie. It's very gory. If you like practical effects and movies that don't take themselves too seriously, check it out. It's absolutely worth the watch.
Yeah, it has a little bit of everything in it. It has a little romance in it, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's not the main thing, but I did enjoy that part. Like I said, I enjoyed the music parts of it, too. But it's just something you have to watch to see. I will say, though, for comedy horror, I know some people don't like comedy horror, so they might not enjoy this movie because of that.
It's more of a gore fest, in my opinion.
I thought it was more comedy, if anything.
That's fair.
Because it didn't become gory until the party.
Yeah, you mentioned that while we were watching it, and I was like, I don't know, there's like the pus shooting out of her arm.
The pus shooting out of her arm. So we were actually discussing this too, because when I think gore, I think blood. But then there's a lot of like pus coming out too, out of the infection when the mom is still alive. She's just transitioning. And
the embalming fluid pouring out of her.
yeah. And then I was just like, do you consider that gore? And Josh was like, well, yeah, other people would consider that gore too. So I was like, okay,
Because we're desensitized. We're very fucked up. But normal people would be like, oh, this is horrifying.
You made me this way.
Yes, I did. You're welcome.
But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, yeah, actually, like the pus, when it went into the custard, that grossed me out.
It was disgusting.
So I guess, yeah, that is gore.
Yeah, she eats her ear and spits out the earring. Yeah.
And then you said that this is one of the ones rated, like...
It's rated as one of the goriest movies ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, would you say this is gorier than Terrifier?
Purely by volume, I'd say yes. Terrifier is gory. I mean, there's no denying that. But each incident is like isolated. This is gorier in that it's happening everywhere all at once to everybody. You're talking like 100 people being chopped to bits at once.
You know what I also find very interesting? That, I don't know if you peeped it, but when the mom gets bit, it takes her at least 2, maybe even 3 days to actually fully turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
Versus when she starts biting people, they immediately change. So why is that?
I actually don't have an explanation for that. I wish I did. Because I noticed that it did affect different people differently. So, like, her, it took a few days. The other nice girl at the party, it took her a decent amount of time. to turn.
before she fully changed. But I feel like the only reason why she didn't fully change right away is because she got bit very lightly, I guess, I would say, versus the zombies that were turning each other right away. They were like really taking chunks out of each other.
Maybe.
So that's what I was thinking of. Maybe she took a little bit because of that.
Yeah. I It's possible. I mean, yeah, everybody was affected differently. How
But the majority were bitten and changed right away.
Mhm. Which I kinda like.
Hmm.
I hate the
When it
whole
takes time.
when it takes forever, I hate that because they do that in The Walking Dead. Like, someone would get bit, and it takes them, like, fucking a week and a half to turn, like, it takes forever. This,
Yeah.
it's, like, instantaneous, like, "Oh, we're all fucked."
And they left a little, the door open a little bit because the the husband that ate the bloody custard,
Mhm.
pussy custard,
Oof.
pus,
Yeah.
blood custard,
Yes.
you would think he would get infected too, but it never shows him again.
Mm-mm.
So I would think he would go home, he would get infected, and then they would start infecting people from their end.
Yeah.
They could have opened a second movie with that.
They could've. They'll never make a sequel. I guarantee it, they
Oh,
never
no,
will.
yeah, this is way too old.
Yeah, they'll never do it.
If anything, they would make a remake because they love to make everything remakes nowadays.
I don't think Peter Jackson would ever allow that to happen, but if they did, I don't know. There's a lot of loose ends that never got tied up.
Yeah, I would go see it if
That's
they made a
Yeah,
remake.
of course.
Would I like it more than the original? Probably not.
No.
But you know what would be cool if they made um if they did go the remake route,
Mhm.
they would take some of the cast from the original and have them make, cameos or pop-up appearances.
They're not that old. They're in, like their 60s. I mean,
Yeah,
it's doable.
it's doable if they do something now,
If they do it now,
not if they wait longer. If they wait longer, like,
look
most likely not.
look, they brought the girl back from fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, and she looks like the Crypt Keeper. So, I don't think there's a time limit, but yeah, I don't know. This movie is, if I had to just put it plainly, it's the perfect amount of insanity and gore and humor all thrown in a blender.
And I just love how your aunt and uncle were the ones that recommended it.
Yeah.
They really are the cool aunt and uncle.
Mhm.
We really get along with his aunt and uncle. You have another aunt and uncle that we don't see because they live somewhere else.
Yeah, we haven't seen them since our wedding.
But every time we see his one aunt and uncle, they're very like movie connoisseurs too, and they're very into horror movies. So we just vibe really well
Yeah,
every time we see each other.
they asked right away. They're like, "What have you guys watched recently? Anything good? Let us know." And while the whole family's doing their thing, we're sitting with my aunt and uncle just talking movies and having a blast doing that. They got me this for my birthday, like, I don't know, 15 years ago at this point, and I it's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
It's
still one of your favorite movies. When last week when you spun the wheel
Mhm.
and you landed on Gore, like definitely I could see on your face that you already knew what movie you wanted to do.
Mhm.
And after we got off recording, I was like, you look like you definitely knew what movie you wanted to do.
Mhm.
And you were like, yep, I already know. My aunt and uncle gave me this great movie back in the past and I really want to do
Yeah.
it.
It's not only my favorite gore movie, it's my favorite zombie movie of all time. My second zombie movie would be Train to Busan. It's an amazing movie, but this one, yeah, it will always be my favorite. But yeah, that's all I got.
I like Warm Bodies.
Warm Bodies is fun.
I love Warm
It
Bodies.
is a very unique concept.
Yeah. But that's because it's romance too, so
Yeah.
it's a cool concept.
But you know what? A lot of people like that movie
Mm-hmm.
because of how unique it is to the
Yeah, it's very unique, very indie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, took a different interpretation of it,
Mm-hmm.
of zombies, because usually you just think zombies are just, what they are.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many different takes on zombies. There are ones where they're like slow and walking around and moaning.
Brainless.
There's the fast ones that I hate. I think those are stupid. Uh, there's Return of the Living Dead where they're talking into the radio saying, send more paramedics, and then they just attack them. Zombies are fun.
Or I'm Legend, where they're like fast as fuck, but at
Yeah.
least they only come out at night.
Yeah. People will also say 28 Days Later, they're not technically zombies in that. It's people infected by rage fires, but either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got on Dead Alive. I love it. If I have to rate it out of 10, I'm giving it a 10. I'll be honest with you. I'm giving it a fucking 10.
Nice, nice. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Would I clean up some things? Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, because Lionel pissed me off
Yeah.
at times.
He was
Yeah,
annoying.
I did. I loved Paquita. Loved her so much, even though at times she was like very, I don't know, comfortable too fast.
Yeah. She's very
She put her eggs in one basket. Once the grandmother said, like, yep, this is your sign. Yeah, you're going to be entangled.
hmm.
Even when Lionel would try to break up with her, she was like, but we're an entanglement.
He's like, whoa.
He's like, whoa, we just met. Like,
Known you for 8 minutes. Ugh.
so she's a little too strong, but I loved her. She's a powerhouse. And the fact that she really wasn't alarmed when he started explaining about the zombies. Like, she allowed him to explain.
Yeah.
I feel like other people would have been like, I'm out.
She took it very well.
She took it very well.
She was the second best character in the whole movie, second only to the priest.
The priest. The alive priest.
The alive priest. The
because when the priest became a zombie, he was slimy.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
But when he was alive and he kicked ass for the Lord, that was the best moment in almost any movie. Is one of the best moments.
He wasn't even alarmed when Lionel was like, get back, they're coming. And he's like, demons.
Yeah. Like, there's evil afoot.
Yeah, like he's
and
seen
I have
it
to vanquish
before.
it.
Like he's seen it before.
Yeah, he didn't take any kind of shit.
I know, and it was just so funny, and I was so upset that he got killed.
Yeah.
So upset.
I would say, because we do movie Mondays in our house with people over. I would say do this, but I don't know if they would watch it.
So usually for movie Mondays, I have 3 girls that come over. 2 of them are my cousins, and one of them is our friend. I think 2 out of the 3 would like it.
Yeah.
But the one that wouldn't, it could go either way. She may like it, she may not. She may think it's dumb, or she might actually be like, oh yeah, this is good. Because there are times that you think a film is good and then the other person thinks it's bad. And that happens sometimes with us. Like sometimes I find something hilarious and she'll find that same thing that I found hilarious cheesy. Versus when she thinks certain movies are really, really good and amazing and the best movie she's seen this year. And I'm like, that movie sucked.
Yeah. It's like when we actually enjoyed Happy Gilmore 2. And yeah.
That's your favorite movie. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't good, but I liked it. I mean, I laughed.
Adam Sandler movies don't take itself seriously.
That's true. It laughed, and that's what it did its job.
Yeah.
It got us to laugh.
I feel like my favorite Adam Sandler movie has to be 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
Because that's like, that has to be one of my favorites.
I like Blended.
I love Blended.
Yeah.
See, and that same particular person hates Blended, thinks it's cheesy. It has its cheese factors, but I love anything that Drew Barrymore is his love interest too, because they just um they just have great chemistry
They vibe well.
in on screen.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid watching one of his movies with her, and I'm like, "Oh, are they, like, married or dating in real life?" And my mom's like, "No, he's full on married."
Yeah. Has
And
been for a very long time.
yeah, and you see his wife a lot
Hmm.
in in his films, and his kids. They're doing their own thing too.
Yeah. But that's something I like about Adam Sandler is he has, it's Happy Madison Productions, but he employs his friends in all of his movies. Like they're never short of job options because he's always making these movies and putting his
Yeah, and they always have options there.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Now he's doing it for his girls,
Yeah.
and they're very
They're
talented.
very talented. They're
Yeah.
great actors.
Yeah, they're dabbling in a little bit of everything too, because I mean, the oldest, Sadie just had a movie come out,
Mm.
the roommate one.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. I think it's just Roommate.
Something like that.
And she was really good in it. It was very cute, and she has a song at the end too
Hmm.
that comes on, and I was like, "Oh, this song is cute." And it was her. The younger one sings a little bit too.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I mean you would see Adam Sandler around New Jersey a lot because that's where they were filming.
Yeah, he filmed at this country club that I used to. Oh, I don't even want to say it. Yeah. Yeah, he just worked at this country club that is pretty fairly close to us.
Yeah.
And
But Netflix opened their new studio here in
yeah,
Jersey.
yep. Down the shore though.
Hmm.
So pretty far from us. Maybe like an hour or so.
Yeah. But for months I was seeing TikToks from New Jersey of Adam Sandler walking around.
I will say, um, he's grinding my gears a little bit, because today I just found out that they are doing
Mm.
Grown Ups 3. And I was like, a long time ago, he had said he was not going to do a Grown Ups 3. He didn't feel it was right because Cameron Boyce had passed from epilepsy,
Hmm.
and he plays his son in the Grown Ups franchise. And now all of a sudden you're doing a Grown Ups 3. So I know your feelings can change, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't voice things like that then.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Just be like, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future instead.
I don't think it's a money thing because I don't think he needs it.
I think it's just back from popular demand. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people have been like, we want a Grown Ups 3,
Yeah.
which to me, it doesn't need one.
It didn't need a second one. I liked the first one. I didn't care that much about the second one.
There were some aspects, though, that was really funny with the second one,
Yeah.
like the tire wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like the whole Kmart
Oh, with the fucking
stuff.
the the emergency raft opening up and launching what's his name into the shelves.
And it was fun to see like the kids get older, but I felt like the third one should have came out when the kids were teenagers.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they should have had a third one then.
Yeah.
He didn't, though.
Uh,
And I feel like now it's gone on so far that it's like, what are you going to do?
that's gone too long.
It's gone on too long. It's been like 13 or 14 years since the second one,
Yeah.
that I'm like, that is a. But I think now people are going to start requesting more sequels to his movies,
Uh,
or because I feel like down the line he'll probably make one for Billy Madison.
but like, what do you do? He's an old man now. Like, he can't go back to school again. Like, what is he gonna do?
He'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll be like college or
Jesus. No, because his whole plan was to go to college. I don't know, but
I feel like he's gonna do something.
I'm sure he will. They'll figure it out. But
Yeah. He always does. He always figures it out. And especially if people are like, oh, please make another one.
I don't know. can't really do it without Chris Farley as the bus driver. He's the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't know how this turned into an Adam Sandler review, but we need to move
I
on.
don't remember.
We need to move on. So as you know, just a reminder, if you didn't listen to last week's episode and somehow you're skipping last week's episode and you're joining us this 10th episode, we are on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon, and we also have an Instagram. I only have 3 posts so far. I'm going to try to do the social media. I'm not that great at it, but I'll try.
You're better than I am. I'm supposed to be doing social media for my other show, and I have not done it in months, so I should really get back on that.
I was also supposed to do the social media for your other show,
Yes, you were.
I epically failed at that. I think I did 2 to 3 posts, and
But they were still better than all the ones I did.
it's so hard, though, to do posts for your channel because what I wanted to do with his channel is put clips from Joe and yours show of funny bits.
Yeah.
But I could just not figure out how to edit it without having clips. And it's just I don't want to bother Joe to be like, hey, could you give me clips? Because I know he's busy with 10 million things.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, our whole social media has turned into him arguing with flat earthers, which is very fun to watch. Yeah, a lot. So I don't know.
But I'm gonna try to somehow get into some type of routine to post on Instagram. Maybe I'll try to make something. Maybe I'll try to coordinate something that I can post for both social medias, even if it's just once a week, just to get something out.
Yeah.
To see what I can do.
Yeah. But, you've been doing a phenomenal job because you do the editing for our show.
I do the editing. So if you ever think the editing is bad,
blame my wife. No.
Wow, I was going to say blame Josh.
Wow.
Because he taught me the basics, and then I just started clicking around and figuring other things.
Yeah. Well, you learned more than I did, because I learned the basics while teaching you what I was learning as I was learning it, so. Either here nor there. You do great. So.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was telling Josh I wanted to take over the editing because I know that Josh is doing 2 shows, so it's a lot for him to kind of jump, because for his other show, he has to do research. Our show is a little bit more easier because we do a tiny bit of research, but for the most part, we watch the movie the day before. We write a little couple bullet points. If there's any fun facts regarding the movies, we try to
throw it
in there if we can. We get sidetracked a lot.
We just talked about fucking Adam Sandler for 25 minutes.
I know. I didn't know it was going to be an Adam Sandler review.
It's fine.
But it's okay. We enjoy his movies. We enjoyed this one. We didn't talk too much about the actors and actresses of this one, and usually we do. I mean, to be fair, I don't know anybody. I just know that a lot of them were doing some Lord of the Rings work, but to be fair, I have not watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies. I think I've watched the first one, and I've watched bits and pieces of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I know that's going to grind someone's gears. It's going to make somebody feel so awful because I said that.
No, it's fine.
But I just never could get into it too much.
I mean, they said it in Clerks 2, I think it was, that the whole movie is just people walking. And he's like, even the fucking trees walk in those movies. And he's right, they do. It's a whole movie about walking. But they're still good movies.
Yeah, I agree. it's not Harry Potter. I could watch Harry Potter
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
Lord of the Rings are movies that my mom took me to the theater to see, and
So it's special to you.
yeah, and then at certain scenes, my mom would actually, I've never seen her do this. She stood up and started cheering at the screen in the middle of the theater. Ask her about it next time we see her because it's hilarious. But
That's funny.
because she was cheering, and then like an hour later, another thing happened, and another woman jumped up and started cheering, and my mom's like, "Yeah." It was very fun to watch.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I was taken to the movies for Harry Potter.
Mm.
So I think that's why that's a little bit more special to me. But didn't you get taken to the movies for Harry Potter also?
All right, we're running very late on this episode, so I'll tell this quick story. Harry Potter 1 came out, so I was up at my father's house for the weekend with a friend of mine. We had no idea what the fuck Harry Potter was. We didn't know the books because we were little kids. My father took us to see the movie, and then immediately after that took us to a bar. And at this point, because we had gone to the late show, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're walking into this dingy bar full of smoke, and I remember somebody put their cigarette out on my shoulder.
Oh, so you connect it to that.
Yeah, but now I could laugh at it now, but that was my childhood. Just ridiculous things happening.
Yeah, you have a lot of bar memories.
Yes, I do.
Anyways,
Most
like,
of them underage. Sorry. Continue.
like Josh said, we got to wrap up the show. We talked so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You got a long episode again awaiting in your future. If you want to stick around,
But
which you should.
you should. And
Give us a follow on Instagram.
all of that fun stuff. And
Yes.
there's no wheel this week.
There is no wheel this week. And you know why? Because next week is my birthday. I'm not going to tell you the exact day. If you know me in person, you actually probably know the exact day. But anyways, I don't want to spin the wheel, so I'm not going to spin the wheel. I'm going to choose a movie that I want to do.
Yeah.
And which you'll have to tune in next week to find out. Thanks for joining us on episode 10.
Yes.
We made double digits.
We
Woo!
did it. I quit. No.
You can't quit.
I know.
You're not allowed.
Okay. So we'll be back for episode 11. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Bye, guys.